Well, it is the week of Christmas, and while the festive season can be fun and, of course, exciting, it can also be filled with a little family drama and perhaps some added stress. Joining us now, psychologist Dr. Frieda Birnbaum to explain why this season can be difficult and to share a few tips to manage your stress. And thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Birnbaum. This is important. I think we all feel a little added stress. As much as we want to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the holidays, there's so much going on. Why is it so stressful?
Yes. Well, there's so much to do and there's so many expenses. Think about the gifts we have to give, and we should really focus on gift giving for the children. We could even have homemade gifts, and this is something that's less expensive and actually much more memorable. Then we're talking about the travel expense and having to spend this money. You want to see your relatives, you want to see your friends, you just don't have that kind of resource. So you can invite people over, Zoom, call, whatever that takes. You don't have to have the stress of this financial expenditure. And then we're talking about clothing. Just go and look in your closet. I can guarantee you're going to find something. We're talking about New Year's Eve, we're talking about Christmas, we're talking about Hanukkah, all the holidays. There's stuff in your closet. There's no excuse.
Yeah, you don't have to go out and spend more money on something new to wear, in
No,
other words, to add to your
no.
stress even more.
Yes,
At family drama, I mean, that can take a different turn at Christmas at times too, because
yes,
sometimes you're bringing people together that aren't always together and deciding who to invite to this and that.
yes.
And sometimes divorce may be an issue. I know that you mentioned that
Mhm.
being a problem for some families and how to handle those issues.
Yes, there's so many stressors. When we're talking about sitting at the table with family, remember the triangle, and that is who sits in front of you and who sits on either side. You're actually stuck with them for I don't know how long. So be very, the pass off. And that's what I call when someone is cornering you and saying, well, when are you going to have children? How's your career? What happened to your relationship? You have to be able to know that there's a way to get out. Get somebody that's close by and bring them in and talk about something else, and they'll forget about all the questions they asked you. Another aspect is the drinks. You can always excuse yourself and say, you know what? I really need a drink. Would you like one too? And it's not your fault if somebody along the way stops and talks to you. So those are a few of the resources that you can depend on when you feel stuck with relatives, neighbors, friends who are really giving you a lot of stress.
Right. And of course, we all just want to have a good time. We want to enjoy the festivities and the beauty of the holiday season. How can we take a step back and just let it happen and enjoy as much as possible? I know you've given us some tips,
Yes.
but give us some more.
Well, that's a very important question. When we're talking about divorce, when we're talking about illness, then we're talking about real problems. And that's when we do have to step back and look at these people who are going to suffer in some way. For one, do not bring the children into your conflict when there's a divorce. Make sure that they're not going to feel as if they're doing something wrong. If someone is ill, you can always Zoom or visit and talk about your memories, your experiences, and your future plans because they also need that kind of connection. So you
That's
can
right.
always make a toast. It's extremely important. And the three things that you should not talk about that have to be mentioned.
Okay, we're
And one
almost out of
is
time, so just quickly.
religion, children, and politics.
Oh, three
Anyway, and
good things.
remember, have fun with all that I'm telling you. Have a
Okay,
good time.
that's the
Thank you.
important thing. Try to focus on
Bye-bye.
that. Dr. Frieda
Bye.
Birnbaum, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.